The Meat Puppets were a band that I worshipped, because I remember their first single was just the most insane thing I'd ever heard ever. And then, when the Black Flag, the Greg Gins, discovered them kind of and brought them over as part of the SST, I remember them playing at the Cuckoo's Nest, which was in Costa Mesa, which, again, the audience was all that Huntington Beach crowd, that kind of just jockey, hardcore crowd. They played to them, and they were just being pelted, and someone threw a whole like pitcher of water in Kirk Kirkwood's face. And it was just and they were fantastic, just that weird, that's when they were just doing the most witchy music before they kind of did the more countrified stuff later. But yeah, no, they were scary. They were like, Charles Manson or John Waters.
I don't know what I was hoping that punk rock would do for me, really. I mistook it for psychedelic music. I thought everybody was into peace and love, and that there was just an exploitation of a good vibe. And then I found out actually that it was really that they probably were, but it was me that was hateful.
We're going to do what we're going to do, and we definitely weren't going to be constrained by the fact that these people are all, it's like that Jello thing. Fuck off, I didn't get into music to fucking, have more pigs in my life.
It had a lot, I think, to do more with the actual original feeling of what it was like to be depressed and stupid, and to, be a total loser and still think that you had enough going for you to defy it, to play in a band or, work at a grocery store, any sort of low life, sort of white middle class trash way to, try and prove to yourself once and for all that, you're not worthless, by using worthlessness as your last ditch effort to extricate yourself from the toilet you were born in.
Nobody likes me, everybody hates me, fuck everyone. And most of the kids that were in the scene in the beginning were those kids that fucking never fit in anywhere, couldn't get along with anybody.
You got spit out a lot. Played with Flag, just in the same way I think that a lot of those guys hooked up with a lot of bands, other than Watt. Maybe they knew those dudes from the South Bay there, or whatever it's called, South, from the beach. But like Huskers, I think they saw those guys. We played with them. And they saw bands that they liked, and then Greg and Chapter and them had started the label already. And then they invited us to come out and play with them. And out here, we played with them in Phoenix. And they said, we need you guys. You want to do a show in LA with us? So, sure. So we came out. That was at the Cuckoo's Nest.
We loved Black Flag, and we got to play a show with them in Phoenix, and they asked us if we wanted to put a record out, and it's like they were always easy to get along with. They're like the same people. That's where we started finding kind of more of our people, in the hardcore scene, and not just like in the art scene that Derek knew about or was more hooked up with through Wiley, but the hardcore scene too, the LA hardcore scene. And I think Ginn got us in there, like he always said, is just kind of fuck with other people too, some, and because he liked to do that, and like, I like this, and the punkers are going to hate it, even though it passes off as punk rock.
And that was like the first night Henry played out here with them. Their new singer Henry that they got from DC. It was just like, whoa. And that was another one of those like fucking full-on hardcore punker shows, where the kids are just like, whoa, look. The cops came, and somebody stole the cops' helmet, and the cops came in force, and it was like, fucking good Lord, just nutty, But and then it just asked us, you guys want to do a record with us?
I was really high when we did the first one. It was just what happened. I was really high when we did the second one, but it was different drugs.
What was the difference?
I was more intelligible on the second one.
They asked us if we wanted to put out a record, because they'd had SSD going, put out those first few Flag 7 inches, and then I think they just put out that first Minutemen album.
I was tripping the light fantastic in the land of the beautiful people at Silver Lake. I think that's where we recorded that. No. The first one we recorded at Unicorn on Santa Monica. We were right on the fucking strip there on Santa Monica, and fucking walk out just tripping balls, and there's these dudes in sailor suits, cowboys, all this shit. It was like fucking Disneyland. I was just like, yeah, and then freaking Ginn skulking around, Dukowski, and just like surreal.
What was it like?
We were on acid for 3 straight days.
And we just, got a bunch of stuff going in there. It was like a 3-day fucking, starting to get tired.
No sleep. 3-day session non-stop. think happened between the first record and the second record? I mean, because 2 just comes out of nowhere. You wouldn't know to expect that from having, listened to the first record. I mean, in a way, there's a connection there. I mean, one of the things, Kurt wrote all this and suddenly headed off in that direction songwriting-wise. It's just like, wow, those are cool. But the band was already there a lot. Especially playing-wise. Like what we're, some of the stuff that we've been into as well, not just punk rock, but some of the other influences, and just what we wanted to do with the guitars and stuff like that. The Neil Young side of things, the Dead side of things. And that had been there to a degree on the other record, more expressed in the covers in a way, but also in a lot of the song structures. Those first things. There's some some cool arpeggiated stuff if you listen back to it. If you can work your way through the fast and loud and screamy and stuff. But already there was a level of song structure that was happening. But it definitely just made it a lot more obvious. Slowed things way down, and suddenly it's just another and not that much really happening other than some was like just having done that other record, one record, different kind of record, and their band's ability to do it. It's just, and that's one of our hallmarks as the band. It's just wanting to do what you feel like doing, and being really pretty fucking, we had broad tastes and have the ability to play different feels and make them our own.
Punk rock was started a long time ago. I really think that probably the best punk rock music it hasn't been played yet, though. There's punks that haven't been born yet that are way punk. Totally just don't care about anything.